Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day out there. We're going to get started in like 30 seconds. I give people a little bit of time to get in here, but not too much. Time is of the essence, so we got to get moving. So as y'all come in, shout yourselves out. Let me know your names or locations or both in the comments. We're going to get started. Shout out to everybody watching this on YouTube, because I will put the replay of this on YouTube. So any of you you should listen while I'm talking now, but if you want to listen to this again after this is done, I will put the replay on YouTube, my YouTube channel. Just look up my name, Dre Baldwin. I'm easy to find. I'm everywhere on the internet. So shout out to everybody who is watching this on replay, watching this on YouTube. Y'all can shout yourselves out too. Sometimes people do that in the comments, even though it's not live when it's on YouTube. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre all day, former 9-year pro athlete, author of 33 books. Done 4 TED Talks, created this whole brand called Work on Your Game. What we do here is real simple. We take the mental tools and the strategies to help athletes get to the top 1% in sports, and we translate them over to the business world to help professionals like yourselves perform at your highest level, do it consistently, and as a result of doing that, you're going to make more money in your business. So your performance at your highest level is about what actually drives more revenue in your business, more success, and whatever it is that you're doing. Shout out to Chicago. Chicago is in the building. And we help you do it consistently, because in the sports world, you have to be consistent in your performance. You can't have a good game on Monday, then be trash on Tuesday, then have a okay game on Thursday, then have another trash game on Saturday. If you're like that, nobody knows what they're going to get from you. Then nobody's going to depend on you. Therefore, nobody's going to be willing to pay you, because they don't know what you're going to do. Now, what we're going to talk about here today is the biggest lie that you are telling yourself. And this is a lie that a lot of us tell ourselves all the time. And one of the things that I tell people often in Work on Your Game world, in my coaching programs, and if any of you has been to any of my events, or any of you ever joined a mastermind with me or anything like that, this is one of the biggest things, and I even say this in my content, is that one of the fastest ways for you to move yourself forward in life is not by finding more and new things to do. It's by getting rid of the old unproductive things. It's not you need to get a whole bunch of new things that are just going to be revolutionary to your life, even though there are some new things you can do that would help you out. It's often about getting rid of the trash. You got to take the trash out, is what I tell people. Any of you has to take the trash out where you live, you understand. If you leave the trash sitting there too long, well, actually, you shouldn't understand this, because hopefully you never had it happen. You leave the trash sitting there too long, you're going to get ants and roaches and all kinds of critters running around your house that you probably don't want. And if the trash people don't come pick up the trash, then there's going to be rats and raccoons and all that coming around to the trash cans, wherever the trash is at, because nobody came and picked up the trash. So understand that you got to take that trash out and get rid of the lies that you're telling yourself, and replace those lies with some actual truths. And these truths may be uncomfortable truths, but they are the truths that you need. They're going to help move you forward. So before I get into this, let me tell everybody, I send out this text message called the Daily Motivation. Y'all can get that for free every day if you just text me at this number that I'm putting in the chat right now. So text me at that number right there, and you'll get that daily motivation that I send out every single day for free. So let's get into it. The biggest lie you tell yourself. Here's the first point. The biggest lie is this: I already know everything that I need to do. I just need to actually do it, or I need to believe in myself more, or I need to be more disciplined, or I just got to work harder, or I just got to be more focused, or I just got to be more, what's another thing that people say? Fill in the blank with something that you say. The biggest lie that you tell yourself is, I already know what to do. The only thing that's missing is I just have to blank. I just have to show up more. I just got to be more confident, or I just got to be more disciplined, or I just got to be more persistent, or I just got to be more consistent, or something like that. People say this all the time. I hear people say this, that people even say it to me when they're telling me, well, Dre, no, I already know everything that I got to do. I already know exactly what needs to happen for me to get the success that I want. I just got to do these things. Only thing that's missing is I'm just not consistent. I'm just not disciplined. I'm just not working hard enough. I'm just not as motivated as I need to be. I just got to get my confidence back to how it was 5 years ago. And I hear people say this all the time. I'm talking about people. I hear people in their 20s say this, people who maybe just graduated from college a few years ago. I hear them say it. I hear people say it who are over the age of 40 and 50 and 60 years say this. I hear people who are in their 30s say this. I hear it from males. I hear it from females. I hear it from parents who have multiple kids. I hear from single people who have no spouse and no kids. I hear from people who are entrepreneurs running businesses. I hear from people who are employees and they have full-time jobs. I hear it from students. I hear it from athletes. I hear this from every different demographic of person that has come through my audience. I hear this lie. This is false. This is not true. Any of you who has been saying this, and some of you are guilty of this, this is not true. Okay, so you got to take the trash out. You already know exactly what you need to do to create all the success you want. The only thing between you and that success is you just got to do some simple things that you already are completely aware of exactly what they are and exactly how to do them. The only thing that's missing is you just haven't been motivated, disciplined, confident, consistent, etc. enough for you to get them done. Nonsense. That's false. This is not true. I hear this so often from people who tell me that they had a problem for an extended period of time. I was speaking to someone maybe a week or two ago, and they were telling me how they've had a problem in their business and career for like the last 3 years. And they already know everything they need to do. They just need to do one of these mindset tricks. They just want to do one of these mindset tricks. All of a sudden, everything's going to start working out. That's garbage. Folks, let me give you all a newsflash. If you have had the same problem in your life for 6 months or longer, then the solution is not something that you know about and you already got it all figured out. If you had the same problem for 6 months or longer, the solution is not something that you know the answer to, and it's not something that you already have all figured out. That's nonsense. You do not have it all figured out, because if you did, you wouldn't have the same problem for 6 months. So any of you who's had the same problem for more than a year, all right, the problem is not, oh, I just need to do this and this. No, the problem is something deeper than that you probably have not yet assessed, and you damn sure have not solved, and that's why you had the same problem for so long. And I don't know how many times over the course of my career, I'm going to say this again. I've said this in the past, but I'm going to say it again. All right. The quantitative changes, because this is what we're talking about here, is called a quantitative change. Those who don't know what that means. A quantitative change just means doing more or less of something. And oftentimes I talk to people who have convinced themselves that the only difference between where they are and where they want to be is some quantitative change. If I just do more of this or less of that, then all of a sudden everything's going to work out. And that's it. That's all I got to do. I don't need any new, it's not that I need to learn anything. It's not that I need to get a different approach. It's not that I need any kind of change to what I got going on. Nothing. Everything is good. Everything's straight. Everything's perfect. I just need to do more motivation, more discipline, more consistency, more focus, and everything's just going to be perfect. Dre, I already got all of this figured out. Already got all of this handled. How is that the case? And you've had the same problem for the last 3 years. All you need to do for the last 3 years is just get focused, and then everything will just work out. And that's the only reason why you're not making the money that you want to make. That's the only reason why you haven't started that business. That's the only reason why you haven't taken the next step in your career, because you just need to get more focused. You just need to get more of this or more of that. That's what we call a quantitative change. If I just increase the quantity of this, everything's going to be good. Since you're aware of what these things are, if we're just going along with what most people say, then why are you not doing it? I mean, if you already know everything you need to do, why are you not doing it? Now, again, it'd be one thing if you had the problem for the last 15 minutes. It'd be another thing, though, if you had the problem for the last 15 months or for the last 5 years. And the reason why this is the issue, all right, the reason why this is the issue is because you are consciously lying to yourself. All right, this is a subconscious issue, but you're consciously lying to yourself. The things you say are things you consciously think. Good news for you is that your subconscious mind won't allow your conscious mind to tell lies for a long enough period. And your subconscious knows exactly what's going on. All right, so subconscious understanding is you know that it's more than this going on. And that's why you keep consciously saying things that sound good, that make you feel good, that might appease whoever you're talking to, or fool somebody, depending on who you're talking to. You're not going to fool me with this garbage. That's why I'm pointing it out. Your subconscious mind knows better. That's why you're saying things but not doing what you're talking about. This is how somebody can say, only thing I need to do to make more money is get more focus. Yet you see them 6 months later. All right, did you get more focus and make more money? No, I'm making the same amount of money I was making before. That's because it was a lie from the beginning. All right, that's why what you said, if it was that simple, you would already be doing it. That's why you're not doing it, because it's not true. Everybody get it? Point number 2 is this, and we're talking about why you are lying to yourself. And it's a big lie you got to catch yourself in. Now, for some of you, this may technically not really be a lie. All right, maybe it's just an untruth that you keep foolishly believing. See, the reason you keep telling yourself a lie that you believe in is because the lies buy you time. This is the reason why people lie to themselves. The reason why, and all of us are guilty of this. The reason why we lie to ourselves is because telling ourselves a lie buys us time. It gives us time to keep BSing and keep telling ourselves one thing while actually doing another thing, it allows people, someone like myself, someone who might be like a coach, or if you have other people in your life who hold you accountable, or you're part of a mastermind group. Now, you shouldn't do this if you're in a mastermind, because you're going to get kicked out of the mastermind if you keep bullshitting and not doing anything. But what it does is it holds people at bay. It buys you time to keep bullshitting and keep telling yourself nonsense and keep doing a whole lot of nothing when you are not honest with yourself. That's the reason why being honest with yourself matters so much. So this is it. Again, this is an untruth that you foolishly allow yourself to keep believing. So if you keep telling yourself the only difference between where you are and the success that you want is a couple of simple things that you already know exactly what to do and exactly how to do them, and you 100% understand them, then what it is you always hold out the option of actually doing them and getting success. Well, I know I'm good. I don't need to go to that event. I don't need to hire a coach. I don't need to get into that program. I don't need to get into this mastermind. I don't need to do anything different. I don't need to make any changes whatsoever to who I am. All I got to do is, whenever I get around to it, do these two simple things that I already know exactly what they are, and boom, everything's going to be perfect. See, as long as you keep telling yourself that, then you allow yourself the space to keep being who you are, and then you never have to make any changes. And not making any changes and remaining exactly who you are, we call that the comfort zone. Are y'all familiar with that concept of the comfort zone? Comfort zone is you staying exactly who you are, keep doing the same things you've always been doing, and there's no change that you need to undergo for any reason whatsoever. This is the reason why people lie to themselves, because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's convenient to keep telling yourself that everything's perfect, everything's fine. I can flip the switch whenever I feel like it, and then everything's going to be good, when anyone with prying eyes can see that what you're saying is nonsense. What you're saying is not true. But we tell ourselves this again because it allows us to comfort ourselves. It's like giving a baby a pacifier. All right, they just keep sucking on the pacifier. They can just pretend that everything's good. Now that's one thing, because a baby doesn't have the logical thinking centers of their brain haven't been developed. You all ain't babies. So this is excusable for a 2-year-old. It's not excusable for somebody who's 25 or 37 or 44. But you keep telling yourself this. If that was really the case, why would you be delaying your own success? Answer to that trick question is that that's not the only thing that's in the way, because you need more than that. That's the reason why you're not doing the other things. So here's the third point. We're talking about the lies that you tell yourself. Understand the difference between 1x and 10x. The difference between where you are right now in your life and you at 10 times the level that you are right now. So let's use anything. We'll use your physical fitness. Difference between the level of fitness that you're at right now and 10 times this level of fitness, or level, let's say performance. Maybe you can't get 10 times your level of fitness, but let's say your level of performance, your output. You can 10x your output, not just because you work 10 times harder, because many of you probably don't have the capacity to work 10 times harder than you already are. If you're working at 80% capacity, the highest you can go is 100%. There's no such thing as 110%. I know it sounds good metaphorically, but there's no such thing. The highest you can go is 100%. All right. So let's say if you're making $50,000 a year, there's a difference between your $50,000 that you're making right now and $500,000. The difference is not you working 10 times harder, because again, you only got 24 hours in a day. Let's say you're spending 8 sleeping, 8 doing everything else. You got 8 hours to work. Or you can't work 80 hours a day. So that's scientifically, mathematically impossible. The difference is insight. The difference between where you are and you multiplying your results is insight. Now, if you want to add on to your results, meaning you want to go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, you can just keep working harder until you get to your ceiling. Eventually, you can't work any harder, but you can figure out how far you can go. You can max out as hard as you and work as hard as you can. So if you're working 8 hours a day right now, maybe you can go up to 10 or 11 hours a day. You could do that if you want to. What's going on, Linnell? Good afternoon. You could do it that way if you want to, but eventually you're going to max out. There's only so much hard work you could possibly do. And eventually in life, you can't keep working that hard. I mean, you're going to get old, tired, and eventually die. You can't just keep doing it. So how can you multiply your results? Not add your results, but multiply your results without actually working that much harder? And the answer to the question, first of all, yes, it is possible. The answer is insights. What is insight? Insight is about, and I talked about this in episode 1177 of the Work on Your Game podcast, by the way, for those of you who didn't know. I got a podcast, comes out every day. Insight is about asking questions, or you being asked questions, because you probably won't consider these questions on your own, but being asked questions that have not yet occurred to you, And these are the kind of questions that when you address them, they lead to breakthroughs in your thinking, which lead to breakthroughs in your activity, which lead to breakthroughs in your outcomes, lead to breakthroughs in your results. All of this is what we call qualitative change. So we talked about quantitative change a minute ago. Quantitative change is when you add on, you do more of things. So quantitative change can be, for example, if I go outside and run, like I like to go outside and run, right? I like running like 10K distance, which is about 6.25 miles. So sometimes I run about that distance, sometimes a little bit further. Now, if I want to run faster, let's say I want to get a faster time, what I could do is quantitative change. I could just figure I'm just going to push myself to run harder and faster and get more motivated and turn the music up in my headphones and just get more activated to just push myself harder to run faster outside. Now, I could do that and it probably will work, but there's a limit to that because it's only so hard that I'm capable of physically, it's only so hard I'm physically capable of running. Eventually, I'm going to hit my physical capability ceiling as far as pushing myself. How can I get any faster besides that? The way I can get any faster after that is this. I have to ask myself a different set of questions that will lead to different activities that will lead to me running faster. Maybe, just maybe, if I get more and better sleep the night before. Maybe if I take some different type of hydration, or I start eating more fruits and vegetables, or I stop eating candy, or I go to bed earlier, or I get a running coach who knows something about maybe my technique when I run, the way I'm moving my arms and my legs might allow me to get more distance on every stride. So then I can shave a bunch of seconds off my time without actually running any harder. I might actually run less hard, but actually be faster simply because I got some insights and I got some different ways of thinking about what I'm doing as opposed to just trying to go harder and harder and harder with the way that I'm already doing things. Everybody follow what I'm saying here? And I'm using running as an example here, but let's swap out running. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about the money that you're making. You can make more money by simply working hard. You can just stay at work longer. Like I'm about to be, when I get done with this live, I might record a quick little reel that I'm put up on Instagram, and then I'm done working for the day. Now, if I want to make more money in my business, one way I could do it theoretically is, let me say, all right, it's 5 o'clock. Let me work till 6 o'clock and I'll just work another hour. And every day I'll just add an hour onto my work. So over the course of a week, if I add an extra hour every day, that means I added 7 extra hours of work time. Could I get more done and possibly make more money by working 7 extra hours this week? The answer is yes, I could, assuming that I know what I'm doing and I have some methods for making money. Yes, I could. But here's what I could also do. I could take that same time that I'm already working without adding any extra time, and I could go find me a coach, or I could call somebody who I know who knows business, who knows how to make money, and say, hey, look, this is what I got going on. I'm doing this, this, and this. This is how I'm making money. I'm looking for some ways to make some more money. What do you think about what I got going on? What are some ways I can make more money without actually working harder? And they might say, well, Dre, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I got a friend over here who's doing this and this. You're not doing any of those things. Why don't you try implementing those into your business? Don't add any extra time to your work and see how those work. And I might make 3 times more money next month just by changing my approach without changing the amount of time or effort that I put into my work. All I did was change my approach. All I did was get a different insight to what I'm doing. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? This is why we live in an era of collaboration. If you notice what I just said there, I'm talking about I'm going to reach out to someone else who can look at what I'm doing and tell me some things that I'm not seeing. That is a collaboration. Collaboration is simply 2 or more people working together. That's all it is. And it doesn't have to be, y'all don't have to be business partners, quote unquote. A collaboration can be if you hire a coach, that person, they can help you see things that you don't see. If you have a sibling who's also in business, y'all talk to each other. You have a colleague, they're in the same line of work as you. You reach out to them, they reach out to you. You tell them what you're doing, they tell you what they're doing. Y'all bounce ideas off each other. That is a form of collaboration. This is the era that we're in right now. This is why relationships and connecting with people is one of the best things that you can do. It's the reason why I go to events. I go to events so I can connect with people, so I can meet the other people who bought a ticket to the event, because some of these people I can bounce ideas off of in the future, and maybe I'll get an insight from them that can help me. They'll get an insight from me that can help them, and everybody wins in that process. But one thing that we can't do is keep telling ourselves that we already got everything figured out. All we got to do is this, this, and this, and it's done. Somebody sent me a cold email today, as a matter of fact. I don't even know who this person is. They sent a cold email and they were talking about, well, we could help you do this thing in marketing. They were talking about something I was doing in marketing. We can help you do this thing at a much higher level because we help people with A, B, C, D, E in this marketing category. And it actually happens to be something I was thinking about doing that I know I need to do better. and I schedule a call. I'm getting on a call with them, a 15-minute call, and let's see what they're talking about. Maybe it will be useful, maybe not. But I bet in the course of that conversation, I'm going to get something out of that conversation. I know I'm going to get something out of that conversation I'll be able to use moving forward. So even if I don't hire them, I don't know who to look for and how to look for them based on their conversation, how I'll find the next person. That's the whole point of collaboration. This is why we have things like media, things like social media, so you can collaborate and connect with other people. The smartest people out there, folks, here's what we do. We understand that we can conserve time, energy, attention, and focus and money by borrowing other people's intelligence. That's what we do. You borrow other people's intelligence. If you want to get better at anything that you're doing, you want to produce a higher rate of return. Don't just work harder on it and hope that you figure it out, or take as long as it takes for you to figure it out. Because I think if you're smart, you can figure out anything eventually if you work on it long enough. But how about, instead of doing that, how about you just connect with somebody who already figured it out? So instead of you taking 6 months and doing a whole bunch of trial and error and figuring it out by yourself, why don't you just go find somebody who already figured it out and take 6 hours and have it done? They already got the formula. Why you got to do trial and error? You don't have time to make every mistake. So why don't you just go find somebody who already made all the mistakes? They already know everything that's going on. Just do what they say, and boom, it's done. That's my 2 cents on it. But let me recap these points. Anybody got a question, put it in the comment section right now. I'm going to recap these points right now. Topic is the biggest lie you are telling yourself. The lie is the following. I already know everything I need to do. I just need to do it. I just need to work harder, believe in myself, be more disciplined, be more focused, be more locked in, be more persistent, be more consistent. Y'all know the kind of stuff that y'all say. This is nonsense. This is bullshit. That is not true. All right. People tell me this I hear this all the time from people. I know everything I need to do. I just need to do it. I just need to work harder. I just need to keep doing it for a little bit longer. And then things are going to work out and things are going to pop off. People tell me that in 2018, 2021, they still got the same problem. Are still in the same spot with the same story, simply because it was never true in the beginning. Number 2, this could technically not be a lie. For some of you, it's just an untruth that you foolishly keep believing. The reason you keep telling yourself this is because it buys you time. It's an excuse. There's an excuse that buys you time, because now if you just keep telling yourself, well, I already know everything I need to do, I just haven't done it yet. What are you doing? You're telling yourself that you got everything figured out. Therefore, you don't have to do anything different. You can just stay in your comfort zone and keep telling yourself the same story, and you never have to actually take action. This is the main thing, and that's just laziness. And I talked about that in an episode of my podcast. I believe it was episode 2568. Subject of that episode was "The problem is you are lazy as fuck." That's the title of the episode. You are lazy as fuck. Many of you are simply mentally lazy, not physically lazy. You're mentally lazy. And when you're mentally lazy, it's hard to move yourself to physically do anything. So the mental controls the physical. Number 3, the difference between 1x and 10x is insight. If you want to go to a higher level and you want to start multiplying your results, the best thing you can do is not work harder or work longer or push yourself more, even though there's nothing wrong with doing those things. The best thing you can do if you're trying to multiply, because you cannot multiply effort. All right, there's only so much effort any one person can give. Best thing you can do to multiply results is to get insights, which means you get a different perspective from different people other than yourself who can see things that you cannot see. And the best way to do this is to collaborate with other people. All right, when you read a book, you're collaborating with the author of the book. When you take a course, you're collaborating with the person who made the course. When you hire a coach, when you go to an event, when you join a mastermind, when you meet other people, these are all different ways of collaborating with other folks. The challenge for many of you is that even though we have social media and email and all these different applications where all these other human beings are, you are not collaborating, not in a productive way, with anyone who is helping you move forward. And again, here's the way that you know that you're telling yourself some nonsense. You've had the same problem for 6 months or more. If you have the same problem for 6 months or more and you have not solved it yourself, then you need to fire yourself from solving that problem, because clearly you are unqualified to solve the problem. Everybody got it? So, somebody asked running shoe for marathons. I wear the same running shoe no matter how far I'm running, but I am probably not qualified to tell you the best thing for shin splints. You probably talk to a running coach or something about that. So everybody, daily motivation text that I send out every single day, free of charge. That is at this number. I'll put it in the chat one more time. 305-384-6894, and Work on Your Game University. That is where I do all my coaching. That's where you get access to 40 plus courses. I sent out an email today. It said 37. We got more than 37. It's 40 plus courses in there. workonyourgameuniversity.com. You want to get access to my frameworks like Bulletproof Mindset, 30 Days of Discipline to Work on Your Game System, Sell Yourself, Content Machine, Next Mission, the Business Builder Framework, ASAP Confidence, and a whole bunch of others, a whole bunch of one-off tactical trainings as well. All of that is in Work on Your Game University. If you would like to be coached by me, the only place I do any coaching is in Work on Your Game University. You must be a member of the university if you want to be coached by me. That's the only place I coach anybody. Again, that's all at workonyourgameuniversity.com. My text number is right there. The text is free. Comes out every single day for free, straight to your phone. And that's that. So anybody else got anything else, hit me in the DM or hit me in the text. Work on your game. Dre, all